So hey, what's up guys, Box here and welcome back to our F1 2018 career mode. Here we are then for episode number 11. I've already done some practice, did it off camera, see if you guys want me to do it off camera rather than in the episode, but we'll just try it for this episode and next episode it will be back. So let me know your thoughts on that, but for now let's get into some R&D. So we've got pretty much 1700 R&D points, and you can see there we are closing in quite quickly on the Aston Martin Red Bull team. So we've got developing over here, we've got this ERS recovery system upgrade, major upgrade on the way. We can't do dual upgrades in departments, which is, it's okay. But we can actually upgrade, we could start to upgrade the chassis or the aero package when we could do this major upgrade, which increases front downforce, rear downforce. So then there's this one here which is for drag, so I don't know what we want to do. I'll probably go for this front wing here, keep developing that front wing, get us right up there with the other top three teams, try to close that gap down a little bit. So I might save these last 500 points, actually I might just whack them in here. Go for this weight reduction, or there's this weight redistribution, rear floor under tray distribution, and this is wiring loom, which is weight reduction. Do we want weight reduction or do we want redistribution? And this one's tyre wear. I'll go for this one because then we can do the tyre wear one, which help with race pace and stuff like that. So our car is coming along nicely, and look at that. Once all these upgrades come through in the next week or couple of weeks, then we will be right up the Aston Martin Red Bull. So we've really turned McLaren into a front-running team. If we take a look at this chart here, you can see it more visually. Look how much we're closing in on the front three. I mean, we've mellowed out a little bit over the past few weekends, but next week we should be pretty good. I don't think we've got any R&D things in. Yeah, we've got a few in progression. So here we go, the rivals thing, contract in progress. This woman needs to shut up, she's really annoying. But anyway, let's take a look at the weather forecast. It's going to be dry with some mixed conditions at the end, so we're going to have to watch out for that. Definitely a dry setup though, and just be careful towards the end of the race. So let's get into qualifying and see what we can do. So that's pretty annoying. Let's take a look at our car setup then. It's the default one, but with 5.5 wings. I think that's going to help us in the race, especially when we're a bit heavier with fuel. So I'm going to go ahead, skip this repair time, and then we can get out on track and see what we can do. So right then, we'll come around the final corner to begin our first flying lap of the day. So let's see if we can get this into a decent lap time. Let's come around the final few corners again then. Let's see if we can convert this one into a decent lap time. Now I must say, we've upped the difficulty to 103%, and we are now, what, 1.7 seconds off of the pace. So we're about less than half a tenth of a second up on our previous lap time. Let's see if we can convert this lap into a bit of a better lap than the previous one. Coming around the final corner, this is a much better lap. We're about 6.5 tenths up on our previous lap time. That puts us into 9th place, behind Charles Leclerc as well. So let's come in back into the pits. See if we put on some fresh rubber and get a pretty better, see if we get a better lap time. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go into the car setup and I'm going to take off a little bit front wing for qualifying, see if that can give us a little bit extra straight line speed, and maybe it will help us out down the straight. So we'll see what that does. We need to remember to put on some fresh tyres, and then we'll go out towards the end of the session. So here we go then, starting our first flying lap of our second run and potentially our last run of laps. So let's get into it. Come around the final corner then, this is a much better lap time. We're about another 7 tenths underneath of our previous lap time. That puts us up to 8th place, so let's keep on pushing. So I've messed up the first sector on this one. I'm going to have to head back into the pit, see if we've got enough time for one more run. So here we go, we're going to get one more lap at this, maybe two. Fresh tyres, more fuel, let's do this. So here we go, going around the final corner again, we're up on our time. Getting up a bit wide in the dirty air, and that's cost us a couple of tenths of a second, but it's popped us up into 5th place, and now we've got to run on Ericsson, but that dirty air has really cost us, but I'm going to settle for that as a lap time. That was a decent lap, I will take that. Retire from the session here. So as you can see, we have proper front runner pace now. I mean, our teammate was only 3 tenths off of us, which is a good result for him, so he's in 8th place, we're in 5th place. And we're only less than 2.5 tenths off of the Mercedes and Ferrari, so As McLaren were really closing in, and that was a monster lap there. So let's take a look at the standings. Actually, we haven't seen that yet. So you can see we're in 6th place. Our teammates in 9th place. We can probably get the Red Bulls, and if we look at the constructors as well, yeah, we could probably get them in the constructor standings as well. So that's what McLaren as a team have got to be aiming at. So let's head into the race.
There's nowhere at all I'd rather be today than here at Hockenheim for the German Grand Prix. We have an incredibly competitive field this year, which means we should be in for a treat. And judging by the sea of people filling the grandstands, there's a fair-sized chunk of Germany that agrees with me.
So here we are then on the grid. So I must say, before getting to the race, I have upped the difficulty to 103 and it upped it from Legend to Ultimate. So we'll see how we get on in the race today. And again, we might need to up it to 105%. So we ain't got much further to go to 110%, but I can't see myself being able to race on 110%. But anyway, we're here on the start of the grid, and we've actually been promoted up to a position because Hamilton had a 1-place grid penalty. So that's going to put us in good standing for potentially another podium on the grid again. So let's head to the race. Right then, so we're here then on the grid. Got to be careful going to turn number 1. It's going to be a tight turn 1, and Kimi Raikkonen, I think he's bogged down a little bit, but Lewis Hamilton's had a fantastic start there from 5th place and has jumped us coming to turn number 1. We need to be careful. We've shifted it down one too many gears, but let's see if we can keep it with these guys. I might stick it into overtake mode, see if we can pick up a place on this next straight. But Kimi Raikkonen coming under attack from the 2 Mercedes. They're going to be pushing for a good win because this is Mercedes' home Grand Prix, of course, so they're going to be wanting to push for a win for the team. No DRS, of course. I was waiting to activate it, but we haven't got it, of course. So, see what we can do coming down then into this hairpin. Just finding our way up the inside of Lewis Hamilton, giving him room on the outside, going side by side. But we're through on him. And there we go. Up into 4th place again from Lewis Hamilton. So, we're going to come under threat from him throughout the whole race. But let's see if we've got the pace then. Well, the race pace now, the car's a bit heavier. I forgot to put that little bit extra front wing back on, which I took off in qualifying, but it should be okay, especially as the cars will start to get lighter. But Hamilton trying to come up the inside of us. Not going to work around there as we come into this sort of stadium section. Careful with the curbs though, because the curbs are very slippy on this game. Just like we found in the new MotoGP game, the curb physics have been improved a lot, so they're that little bit more slippier, probably that little bit more realistic. An 18-1 from Sebastian Vettel, we do a 22-0. Hamilton has come up our inside. I was not expecting that. Come flying up our inside into turn number 1, and he's through on us. That Mercedes engine, very powerful, and now the Red Bull's trying to follow him through. Got to give him space. It's Verstappen. Can we use overtake mode again to try and get back ahead of Lewis Hamilton? It might struggle here to have the pace because the Mercedes and the Ferraris are so quick in a straight line. But we'll do our best to stick with them. So again, we're just going to have to see what our race pace is like on this new AI difficulty. I think it seems pretty realistic, to be fair. We've got Romain Grosjean behind us now, so the Red Bulls are falling back. So we are going to have to pit fairly early. We're going to have to come in on lap number 4. Obviously, there's no super soft tyres around here, but there is the ultra soft. So they sort of skipped out the super softs at this weekend. I'm not sure why, to be honest, but we're on the ultra softs now to start with, so they're not going to last very long. But we will be able to come in for a new fresh set of tyres on lap number 4. Probably stick to the preferred strategy right now. We're losing ground with Lewis Hamilton a little bit here. Gap is 1.1 seconds. So we've now got DRS, so you know what time it is. It's time for Rich Mix and then overtake mode on the ERS. Okay, so we're just within DRS range. So is Romain Grosjean, but he's not going to be able to catch up with us surely. Too far back. We're not going to catch up to Hamilton either, but we're going to close him down a little bit. Surprised there's no upgrades for the brakes unless they're under like chassis or something. I'm not sure where brake upgrades would be. But I'm going to keep it in Rich Mix then and just see if we can close down on Hamilton using the DRS. But we will be coming into the pits on the next lap, so we're going to need a good in lap too. We're on the final corner. What is the gap going to be? We need to consider getting back in the DRS zone. I mean, we're 1.5 seconds off of him. I don't think we're going to be able to pick up the DRS. Oh, we're going a bit wide there. Just trying to brake late and pick up the DRS zone. which we're not going to pick up. 1.8 seconds is the gap. So our tyres, this McLaren car, we're improving the downforce, but it's being heavier on the tyres now, I've started to notice. So we need to get those tyre wear upgrades onto the car as soon as possible. That will probably be the focus now. Something's happened. There's yellow flags out for some reason. We were coming under pressure from Romain Grosjean. Our tyres are really starting to go off. Why the yellow flags keep coming out, I don't know. But we're going to be coming to the pits on this lap so I can whack the engine mixture down. Fernando Alonso out of the race. Why is that? What happened to Fernando? Did he have a crash with someone or something like that? We're going to come into the pits here as we almost missed the entrance. Bring it in, trying to get the gravel. Back the ERS right down. We just keep it in standard for fuel for now. So, coming into the pits then. Everyone else seems to have stayed out, but we're coming in. We were a bit heavy on our tyres over the course of that stint, so maybe we can improve that. But anyway, coming in for the new set of tyres. Can we get it out ahead of the Red Bull? Yes, we can. Well done, McLaren team. 2.5 seconds pit stop. And some clear air, actually, behind Kimi Raikkonen. So maybe we can close in on him a little bit. But I'm going to whack it into Rich. Whack the ERS mode up. And just see if we can get a good outlap. And maybe the Mercedes have stayed out. So maybe we can get a bit of an undercut on them. So here comes Max Verstappen then. This is not what we need right now on our outlap. If he wants to overtake us, he can go the long way. Oh my god, we've gone deeper than I thought there. So, yeah, there's no way he could come in. So Fernando's had a problem. He's had to retire the car. The team have confirmed. So, let's hope that that issue doesn't transfer over to our car. But I'm going to have to get used to these soft tyres. It's a big jump from ultra softs to softs. It's 2 tyre compound differences. And we've got Verstappen all over us. He's looking rather racy. Coming across the line then, we're going to be coming out. The Mercedes are going to be coming out the pits, and it looks like... Have we jumped the Mercedes? No. They're way up the grid. Maybe they haven't pitted. Is that? Yeah, that looks like a Mercedes further up the grid. So we haven't jumped the Mercedes. I think we've lost a bit of time, to be honest. I don't really have the ERS deployment either in my battery to sort of defend from Verstappen, who's going to be coming out as quick. No. Oh my god, Verstappen has hit us there. What on earth? Let's take a replay of that. What on earth is he doing? Just take a replay. Just comes flying into the back of us. So true Verstappen style. Here we go. Taking a lot then. Here he comes with the DRS. Braking. And he just hits the back of us. Just hits the back of us. How strange. What I'm going to do, I'm going to save some of my ERS now. I'm going to save up the battery for the rest of this lap. Check we've got no damage to the rear then. As well, that might help. Just mess it up through there a little bit, yeah. We're okay on the rear. Just Verstappen will now lost his half of his front wing at least, so he should start dropping off at the back of us, which is okay. There's still a few people to pit, so maybe that's cost us some time battling with Verstappen. I think it might have, to be honest. Especially since we've saved the ERS as well around there. Come around the final corner. Oh, getting a bit of understeer. So it's Sorokin that's in the pits as well, among others. Come through turn 1. Oh, getting a bit wide. Getting a little warning there for a track extension. So we're in P5 then. Which is pretty much where we were before. But it appears that the Mercedes have now both leaped ahead of Kimi Raikkonen. So that's good for them. But we've got 5 seconds of the gap ahead. So we can safely say that we do have the pace to beat... the Aston Martin Red Bulls, but we haven't got enough pace to leap ahead and into the realm where we can beat the Mercedes and Ferraris. But we still got plenty of time to go this season, and I think the leader hasn't pitted yet, or they've just got a massive lead. But there's one Mercedes that's missing as we get out a bit wide. I'm not getting used to these soft tyres very quickly, and we've lost a lot of time, and now we've got Grosjean to deal with and the other HAAS behind him, so it's not going to be plain sailing to the end of this race at all. So there you go, one of the Mercedes in the pits. I wonder who it's going to be. So it was Lewis Hamilton that came out of the pits, and he's just right behind Kimi Raikkonen. So he's missed out on that by less than a second, surely. So a quicker pit stop would have got it, but nonetheless, they are gone. And we've now got to concentrate on keeping into P5. And I'm probably going to have to charge up some of the battery as well. We've only got 30-odd% of the battery left. And here comes Romain Grosjean. I don't think he's going to be able to get through. Oh, he was looking up the inside there. Nico Hulkenberg's out the race, so what happened there is we run deep again. This is where We did it on the last lap and Grosjean got alongside us, but he's on the outside there. He's not going to be able to hold it, surely. Oh, come on. We got the inside line into the next corner and he's backed out of that one. It's keeping the Red Bull and Max Verstappen in the race. So here comes Romain Grosjean again. We're going to have to use overtake mode to defend. I don't know if it'll be enough, but I'm going to hold the inside line. He's going to go clean round the outside. Is he going to be able to hold it there? I think he might be. Although he gives us plenty of room. Ooh. He was a bit indecisive there as to whether to close the door or not. I'm going to stick it into Rich Mix, actually. We should be able to hold it with him through this final part of the lap. So as long as we don't mess up this corner, which we keep doing. And we get it just right there. So let's see if we can get back into DRS range. Look at the run we've got through here. Can we go up the inside into the stadium section? Yes, we can. Look at that. Whacking it back down into low deployment. And there we go. Job done. Back ahead of Romain Grosjean. You've got to snap straight back. As soon as you get overtaken, try and get back ahead, or else they'll just get into rhythm and escape you. So I just want to take some time and while we're in the race director, just to see how our lap times are comparing to the front runners, just so we can see, you know, how far off front runner pace we actually are. So a 16.8 was the last lap time we did. Vettel did a 15.8. Before that we did a 17.4. So we're about a second, without a mistake in battling, we're about a second off a lap, which is still a massive gap. And it just shows how much extra pace the front runners have over the midfield runners, although we're starting to close into that top three. I mean, Red Bull are struggling out of the top three teams. I mean, they're way back here in the battle, so you could probably argue we're a third running team. I mean, with Fernando Alonso as well. Got a good lineup to be able to take third in the constructors, but in order to beat them, the top two is going to be a massive ask, so we're going to need to concentrate on developing this McLaren. So we're actually coming under attack from Romain Grosjean. I mean, I had it in low ERS mode and I've forgotten to turn it back up, and he's had the DRS, he's got a fantastic run, so that's why that's happened. But like I said before, we need to snap straight back, so I'm going to use up some of this battery that I've been able to save up, and we're going to see if we can get him around that corner where we did last time into that fast section which goes into the stadium section, but we've locked up and gone deep. Might not be able to do it on this lap. We might have to spend the next lap catching back up. So I've got it in overtake mode, in ERS mode, in rich mix mode as well, and should be able to pick up the DRS, so we should be able to get back ahead of Romain Grosjean along here, but we have to wait and see as we go fastest through the first sector. That is a monster first sector. So here we go then, picking up the slipstream as well. Can we go for a late move on the brakes? We're a bit far back, and definitely too far back to make anything of that. Going to keep it in overtake mode though. We might get a run round here. Look at this. He's harvesting ERS. We're going to go around the outside, coming up the inside then for the next corner, run him out wide. Oh, can't run out wide. Got to give him room, which we do, and we're ahead. Back ahead of Romain Grosjean. So a good battle here with the HAAS car then.
The gap to the car ahead is 14.2 seconds.
So let's take a look at the tyres then. 36% wear on the left hand side, so the left hand side of this car is wearing more than the right hand side. I think that's more down to the track rather than the car. As you can see, there's these long right handers which is leaning on the outside tyres, so gonna have to manage that in a few laps time. We will be hitting 50% and gonna be coming to the cliff surely as we run wide through turn one. Oh, that's so annoying. It's gonna cost us time as well, which means Grosjean is going to be coming at us on this next straight. This is not what we need. It's going to be back and forth between me and Grosjean. I don't think there's anything really I can do about this. I'm not even going to bother wasting the ERS mode, I don't think. I'm just going to make him go the long way around, and he should be able to do that nice and easy. Look at that. Oh, and here's the rain that's been forecast, but 10 minutes, so that's going to be after this race. Oh, just can't keep it with him. Keep it in rich mix though. We'll keep it in a higher deployment mode, see if we can get him on this next straight. Massive kick of oversteer, which has cost us our exit. No, we're not going to be able to do that one. Well, we do get a bit of a run. If I'd have committed more, I might have been able to do it, but Just trying to save up the battery. Oh, look at this, we're right on the back of him. We've got 2 laps to go after this one as well, so we can't let him escape too much. Got limited fuel as well to play with. Here we go then. Going for a move on Romain Grosjean. I don't want to get the move done yet. I want the DRS, to be honest. Going to be a bit cheeky. I want that DRS. I'm going to use lean as well to save us some fuel. Use zero deployment as well. Just use the slipstream and the DRS to get through. I want to save our battery. It's not enough. It's not enough to get past. That just shows how much this battery is relied on as we get clonked around the outside. That was a mistake. We should have just got the move done, to be honest. Put it back into standard, and yeah, let's keep it ahead of Grosjean then. Gonna have to keep it ahead for this lap and then the next one as well. But ideally would have wanted to be behind for the next lap. Oh no, this could be trouble. I'm going to use low deployment mode. See if we can get a bit of a gap there. Right then, coming on to the final lap. Can we keep it ahead of Romain Grosjean? Here we go then. We're going to be in trouble if we're not careful. So, putting it into overtake mode. Trying to extend out the lead. So far, seems to be working. We've bolted at the right time and it's worked. He's going to have to rely on the DRS and he's a bit far back. Not sure if he's even going to get the DRS. So, that little push we did at the end of the last lap and the start of this lap has been beneficial. As you can see, look at the gap we've got now. Get it all stopped into the hairpin. Keep it enriched. We've got enough fuel to run to the end and we need to use it. Let's see what the engine's looking like. Oh, 55% on the gearbox, but everything else is looking fine. Here are the tyres. Not going to hit 50%, but I do go deep. Oh dear. Hold it this time. Let's use a bit of this battery we've got left. Put it into overtake mode down here. As long as no mistakes around here, he isn't going to get much of an opportunity to overtake him. We might be able to bring 5th place home, which would be a solid result for us. So here we go then, last few corners. Grosjean's closing in. But it's okay. We've got enough of a lead to hold it around the final corner. Bring home the checkered flag for 5th place for McLaren. What another good result. So here we go then. You can see we dropped down from 4th place to 5th, but that's okay. We did have Hamilton there to contend with, so I wonder what happened to Fernando Alonso. It must have been an error. I think it was an error, not an error, an error with the car, not an issue with the car. So let's take a look at the standings. Then, most importantly, we shoot up now ahead of Max Verstappen, joint points with him, but we're ahead of both Red Bulls now, crucially, and we're 5th place in the championship. That is fantastic, but we're still slightly behind in the constructors. Obviously, Fernando didn't bring any points home in the end, but very exciting end to the career mode of this first season coming up. I think we'll be able to make up the jump for the last few races to be on par with Mercedes and Ferrari, so that'll be absolutely fantastic. This McLaren's been really easy to develop, to be honest. I'd have thought it'd have been a lot harder, a lot more issues with the aero package, but the aero package has probably been the most development as well as the engine package, so that's pretty strange. But anyway, if you did enjoy this episode, remember to smash the like button and subscribe for more F1 2018 and MotoGP game content. So we will see you in the next one.